evening, everybody who's watching or just listening. Welcome to this Hypnotic Live number three for 2026. Tonight, we have quite some people on board, so I'm really happy to be able to introduce you to several speakers this evening and to keep it light, interactive, etc. I have told them to introduce each other. So, Gary, I will start with you. You can introduce someone whom you see on the screen. Be my guest.
Okay, well, we'll go from left to right. I met everybody pretty much at the UK conference, but we'll start with Les Roberts. Hello, good evening.
Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm Les Roberts. I'm so excited to go to Hypnotic 2026. I've never been to Belgium, so this will be my first time. Yeah, I've never been, so I'm really looking forward to it. So,
Really
yeah.
welcome. Really welcome to Belgium. I think you will love it. Definitely.
Thank
So,
you.
Gary, what do you know about Les?
Very little, to be honest.
Oh,
My experience of most people that I meet at conferences is normally involves the bar and late at night.
that's right.
I was
Okay.
going to say exactly the same.
Yeah.
This will be a tough one. If everybody just met at the bar.
Yeah, well, the UK one, we have something called the bunker, which is a bit of a secret one. We have the dinner dance ceremony on the Saturday night. The hotel that we're in used to have a conference room underground. That's no longer used, but you can still get to part of it. We call it the bunker, and we have a secret after party in the bunker late into the night.
But then you are not talking much about hypnosis, I assume. You are just having
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't go to the bunker. I was so tired because I did my presentation on the Saturday, and you know how you're running on adrenaline, aren't you? So by 9:30 on Saturday after the gala, well after the
Yeah.
gala meal, I was so tired, so I just retired to my room, so I missed everything.
Well, I
Uh,
So
stayed
Cara
up and I
stayed
had
there.
to present at 10:30 on the
Yeah,
Sunday morning. No, in fact, I was the same time as you, Gary, wasn't it? I was
yeah,
at Sunday
yeah,
morning.
yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
Yeah, because
I've
I
had
missed you.
good practice.
I was just
I've had good practice of sort of late nights at presenting.
I just
We had a funny story because I'm out in Dublin presenting next month, and the very first year I did Dublin, I had so many people said, "Oh, going to come to your talk. We're going to come to your talk," and my talk was 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, and
yeah.
oh,
I had a very tiny audience. I had a very, very tiny audience because we'd had the dinner dance the night before, and that descended into a late night in the bar. And the organizer of the conference, first of all, apologized. He said, "Really sorry, you had a small audience." He said, "I'll never give you that slot again." But then did add that he was very impressed. I was there presenting brilliantly at 9, and it was pointed out I was the last one to leave the bar at 3:30.
You're a pro,
I
Gary. You're an
yeah.
absolute pro.
I feel your pain, Gary, because the first time I presented at the UK hypnosis convention in 2024, my presentation was at 10:30 on the Sunday. I think Madelief, I think you were there, weren't you, at my
Yeah, I was,
presentation?
yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking, oh, I might have got away with it really because everybody's up dancing, drinking, and thinking I'll have a small audience, but it wasn't the case.
Yeah.
No,
Wasn't the
no.
case. It's still good. Still
Yeah,
good.
but
Yeah.
on the drinking front, I will add quickly or briefly that we need, whoever's staying sort of Sunday night, we need to go out for drinks. It's actually my birthday on the Sunday, so
Oh yeah,
so,
we're
so
we're
there's we
staying
have an
Sunday.
excuse.
Yeah.
We have an excuse.
we've got an excuse indeed.
Cara and I are actually travelling over on the Thursday, so we'll be arriving Thursday late afternoon, and
Yeah,
then we're leaving
I'm not
Monday.
arriving till Friday morning because
Yeah. Hmm.
we've got an election, local
Yeah.
elections on the Thursday,
Right.
and just as a silly sort of something different to do, I'm actually a presiding officer in the elections, so so it's going to be a late day for me because I've got a 6 a.m. start on the Thursday. By the time I've been to taken my votes to the counting centre, I will get home about
Yeah.
midnight, and I think I need to be at the airport for about 6:30 a.m. or something.
You will make it. You will make it.
I'm going to
But now
brush
I
up on
came to the
me languages anyway.
Yeah.
For ready for Antwerp. Shall I introduce Madelief, the
please,
wonderful Madelief?
yes, please do.
Well, hi everyone. I'm Madelief, and I'm probably the youngest again. I'm 25. Sorry, 24. I was confused.
Oh,
Um, my husband just turned 25 yesterday, so I was with 25 in my mind. But yeah, and I'm also a speaker at Hypnotic this year.
All right. And you have seen Madelief. Les talk in London. So you can tell a bit more about Les, can't you? What do you know about her?
Oh, I know that she works with children, which is lovely because it's something I intend to do as well when I graduate. Um, so yeah, she works with children. I know that, and she's lovely to talk to. I've met her at breakfast at the UK Adults Convention. Talked to her for very long, but also just around the hallways, which is always when you um, get to talk to people around the hallways and in between the sessions and everything. You get to you get to meet lovely people and have very interesting conversations. So yeah, I met her there, and she's lovely.
thank you.
So
Thank you.
Anything you'd like to add, Les?
No, I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody, as many people as I can speak. So, like I said, it's my first time in Belgium, my first time in Antwerp. So, I haven't a clue where I'm going, but I'm sure Cara and I are going to meet at the airport. So, I'm sure we'll make our way there, won't we, Cara?
Fingers
And
crossed.
I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm going to
You're
brush
well.
up on. I'm going to brush up on my lingo so that I can say good morning or good afternoon, whatever time I'm talking. So that'd be
But
nice.
they talk enough English as well in Antwerp, so
Yeah, I
you
know,
will
I
be
know.
just doing fine.
Yeah.
And there is this direct shuttle bus from the airport to the hotel. It stops in front of the hotel door. Really, you don't have
Brilliant.
to
There we
drag
go.
your luggage
We have no
that far
excuses
away.
for getting lost then.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I'm flying into Brussels and getting the train down because
Yeah,
pretty
so
sure
are
that's
we. We're
pretty.
We're
Oh, right.
flying into Brussels, yeah.
on
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
on the
you can
Thursday.
take the shuttle. You can take the shuttle
Yeah.
bus. It's just 10 euros,
Okay.
and it
Yeah.
takes
Yeah.
you really from the
Oh,
airport to the door of the hotel.
Okay. Right. I
So
didn't realise that was from Brussels as well.
fantastic.
yeah, we'll
Ideal.
do
Oh,
that
that's
then.
great.
It's
Yeah,
cheaper
We'll
that's
than the
maybe
great.
see you
train.
at the airport, Garry. When are you flying in?
I'm flying in Friday morning because we've got elections on the Thursday. And I'm a presiding officer at the elections, so
Oh, okay.
I get in. I can tell you the time.
But Garry did say, Cara, it's his birthday on Sunday. Did you
Yeah,
say on Monday? Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah,
On
I arrive.
Sunday.
I land at 10 a.m. on the Friday,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I fly back Tuesday night.
So we'll
Yeah,
be
we
in
fly
that
back
bar
on
For your
again,
Wednesday.
won't
birthday
we?
party.
Yeah.
nice.
All right. Anyway, for people who don't know Cara, who can introduce Cara? What is she doing? What do you know already about Cara?
I
Yes,
know
I assume you
Cara.
know quite a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, Cara's a very good friend of mine. We met before we got into the hypnotherapy business, really, didn't we? So
Yeah.
we used to do wellbeing events locally, and Cara was there as well. So I met Cara then. So Cara is known as the neurodiversity warrior, and Cara sees many people who are neurodiverse, adults and children.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to coming to Antwerp and presenting at Hypnotic this year. I can't wait to share all my knowledge about neurodiversity and Seren's method. So I developed that method based on my daughter Seren, who's 5 years old. She's autistic and non-verbal. So I've got a lived and learned experience through my therapy room and with my little monkey at home. She's actually turning 6 on the 8th of May. So I'm
Oh,
abandoning my daughter, which I know I've got massive mum guilt. So she's going to spend it with her dad this year, and I'll do our party the weekend before. But no, I thought it was really important to come to Belgium and share my knowledge on neurodiversity, which is, such a hot topic across the world. And, there's such a lack of support out there. And we all know how amazing hypnotherapy is. So why are we not using it to help, neurodivergent clients? And what I'm noticing more and more is undiagnosed neurodivergent clients coming through the door, especially, teenagers and adults. I myself I'm undiagnosed, and, it was only seeing the world through my daughter's eyes that I was like, actually,
Okay.
yes. So, and it's just, I just want to share my knowledge and how, that may present in your therapy room as well, and how we do have to work differently with neurodivergent clients for many different reasons. But I'm not going to bore you all tonight. That we'll save that for the main
No.
event in Antwerp.
It's not boring at all. I'm really excited and really happy that you are there and talking particularly about that topic.
Yeah, I'm so honored to have been accepted to present. I'm really looking forward to it.
Very interesting. And Garry, you are the oldest guy in the room, and
Probably.
the most experienced as well, I think.
Well, I'm the only guy in the room, so I must be.
You're the only guy, so you're fine.
I think I might trump him actually. So
I'm the only guy in the room, so it must be the oldest.
how old are you on the Sunday, Garry?
Ancient.
18 again.
What's
Yeah.
ancient, Garry?
I'll be 65 on the Sunday.
Oh,
You
not
are the
at all.
oldest in the room. By
I
smidgen.
still try not to act it, though.
Knew it.
Little bit.
It comes with the experience. You are really experienced as well. So, can you tell a bit to the people who don't know you at all, and there are quite some in Belgium, I think, what you are doing, how you rolled into it, because you are doing something very specific as well.
Yeah, I'm known for hypno-oncology. That's hypnotic interventions for the cancer journey, and that's what I'm going to talk about here. I spent nearly 19 years in an oncology unit as a hypnotherapist in the UK, and I was in the first cohort in the UK to get a Master of Science degree in clinical hypnosis, and it was a research master's, and by research I did a study into pre-surgical hypnosis and the effects that had on the recovery quality in breast cancer operations. I was able to demonstrate that it did and how and why. Because of my hospital work, I've worked with about 2,500 cancer patients, so I know what works, what doesn't work. And it's just sort of word got out about my research, and so I started getting lots of people saying, "Oh, you're an expert, can you give me some advice?" And then, "Oh, you ought to put a training course together." And it sort of escalated from there. I did the UK conference, then I did the Vegas conference, and I think I'm doing 10 conferences around the world this year. I've got
Busy man.
Yeah, I'm doing a course in Poland and one in Las Vegas, and I think I've got 4 US conferences, 1 Canadian and 3 European. So I'm about a bit, and so yes, I do that mentoring. I've taught doctors all around the world and do a monthly mentoring thing, and yeah, that's it, and that's pretty much what I'm known for. I've got about half a dozen different talks now and presentations, because I think I've done about 30 something, about 35 conferences anyway so far. So they don't want the same talk each time, but I will be doing hypno-oncology in Antwerp, and it will be my second time in Antwerp as well.
Second time.
Yeah, I was actually I've actually taught hypno-oncology in Belgium.
In the university hospital.
Yeah, I did a course just prior to COVID with Rob de Groot. So I taught at his school, and I stayed for an extra couple of days, and I came into Antwerp. So.
All right.
I've done your course. Garry, quite a couple of years ago. It was fantastic. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that. And then Madelief, our hypno nerd, is growing and changing subjects. And I was really like, oh, this is interesting. Seeing the evolution, because you started at Hypnotic some years ago, really presenting just your book. Then last year, she did a really lovely workshop on fast inductions. No, it was on anything can be an induction, right?
Yeah.
It was really fun. Got a lot of people smiling, laughing, and going home with tons of inspiration.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was fun.
yeah, it was indeed. And this year, you
Yeah,
are becoming
something
friends with
else.
Cara, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Well, last year I talked about just getting creative and flexible with hypnosis. It created a lot of fun and playful interactions. But yeah, I am a nerd and I love digging into the techniques that are underlying of hypnosis and why things work and how to adjust techniques. And I have ADHD. I have an ADHD brain, and I always found it very interesting how does hypnosis work for ADHD and how do you adjust your techniques for ADHD and what do you do differently and how can it help ADHD? So I went and experimented on friends with ADHD and self hypnosis on myself, exploring what it can do, and yeah, I found out a lot of useful information and experimented a lot, and I'd love to share everything I found at Hypnotic this year.
I'm really looking forward to that because there are many people with an HDAD brain, I think. Uh,
Yeah,
so I'm really looking forward to your workshop and have a good time. Unless you have said about how excited you are to come to
I am.
Antwerp, as it's
Yeah,
the first time, but people don't know yet what you are going to talk about. We all know you work with children.
I do. I still see a few adults at this moment in time, but hopefully I will just move over to children altogether. So I'm going to talk about how we can use storytelling, how we can use metaphors, and how it's not quite the same when you work with children as when you work with adults. Sometimes you don't have to do any inductions or deepeners or anything like that. Sometimes, or a
Mm,
lot of the times, children will fall into self-hypnosis anyway.
yeah,
So I'll be talking about how we can bring the creative side out of children and how that can help us in the therapy room, but also help the families to make those changes.
interesting as well. Yeah,
So
really.
Les was the reason I started working with children, not just because of my daughter. I was terrified to work with kids. I was worried, like I just felt more responsibility, and I think a lot of hypnotherapists out there kind of stray away from working with kids because probably for the same reasons I didn't really want to, but you know how things work, and the universe brings you all, whether you don't always know which line you're going to fall into. But I started working with kids and I was like, Les, what do I do, what do I do? And honestly, it's some of the she's like, just do the same thing you do with adults, but with
Yeah, I
just
just
tapping into their imagination, isn't it? And
Yeah.
actually kids are so much easier to work with. It's sometimes the parents, isn't it, that are a bit more
Yeah.
tricky.
Yes.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah.
'cause
But
it's
sometimes you do
surprising.
get, sorry,
Go ahead.
sometimes you do get two for one, don't you?
Yeah, so I find
Help
that a
the
lot when
parent.
we're you're
Yeah.
helping when you're helping the children, the parents are then starting to become a bit more self-aware of what their own struggles
Mm,
are and how they could be working on themselves as well. So I've had the whole family. I've had mum, dad, brother, sister,
yeah,
get them
that's
all
also what
in.
I noticed. Yeah, that's also
Yeah.
what I noticed when you start working with kids indeed.
Yeah.
Because last year I was in Dublin, I got to know this Bunny Talk
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
from
Yeah,
Claudia.
Claudia Ricard, yeah.
Yeah, and then I followed her training and I started working with that protocol. I absolutely love it, and the kids also love it, and even the adults love
Yeah.
it a lot. It's very practical. You can use it anywhere and in any. The nice thing is you can pick things from it and then adjust to the situation or the person you are talking to at the moment at
Mhm.
that point in time, which is really nice because
Great.
I think
Mm.
that's really our challenge also as hypnotherapists to be very creative the moment we have a
Mhm.
client in front of us. I don't know if that's also the case, Garry, with oncology patients.
Less so, to be honest. And interesting, I know Claudia very well, and I've trained in the money talk process. Um, yeah, with oncology, it's less so in a lot of ways because it's probably the most different thing you'll get in oncology is
Mm-hmm.
the majority of people you'll see is I don't know how everybody else works, but generally, if I work with a patient or a client, and not for not oncology stuff, I would normally do 3 or 4 sessions with somebody, unless it's smoking, which I do in one.
Mm-hmm.
But oncology, it's not unusual to only see somebody once. You'll have your long-term people, but you'll have the one-off person, and generally you're called into those when they're having a panic attack or an anxiety attack because they've just been diagnosed, or they're just going into a scanner, or they haven't been bolted down and things like that. So that you have to be creative in some ways, or at least know a lot of different approaches from perhaps tap into some modalities to breathing techniques and other stuff. So that is unusual. The only other thing that really is unusual, I mean, with oncology, a lot of the work is really post-hypnotic suggestion, where outside of that, I do a lot of analytical hypnotherapy. So I would say in some ways it's more limiting or more limited what I do with oncology. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the only creative stuff that you tend to get involved with, and it's another talk completely, but there's an area that I want to call psychoneuroimmunology, which is the science of how feelings and emotions affect the immune system. And if we take that full circle, we know that talking therapies such as hypnotherapy affects feelings and emotions. So therefore, we can affect the immune system, and there is scientific evidence for that. Because I come from a very scientific background,
Mm-hmm. Which
so
is great.
yeah, there's a lot of evidence there. So sometimes I get people, and in the UK we have the 1939 Cancer Act, so there's a lot of things we can't do or
Mm-hmm.
can't work with. So
Yeah.
we have to be creative to get around that. And I do a lot of work, and I always say it's just for psychological well-being, but people want me to actually work with different aspects, if you like, of the immune system to work against the cancer and things. So sometimes, although it's just psychological well-being, because technically we're not allowed to work in that area, uh,
Mm-hmm.
we do a sort of very creative to sort of based on what they're saying to get around that side of things.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to your session. I'm really looking forward to all the sessions. So I will have quite a challenge because we have several rooms with several speakers at the same time. But thank
I know
God
I
there
missed
is.
Gary's in London because we were presenting at the same time.
Yeah,
I wanted to come
I
to
always
yours.
find that there's sort of people I know that I want to see their
Yeah.
talks, and quite often I find there's a couple that I think every time I go to a conference, we always seem to be on at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but thank God there are cameras. So in every room there will be a camera. Everything will be recorded. And so after the conference, if you'd like, you can see all the talks from everybody else, also
Oh,
the ones that
brilliant.
were talking while you were on stage, or while you were visiting another workshop while someone else was on because the choice was too difficult. Because
Yeah,
that's the challenging part of these conferences, right? Because I want to give as much as possible access to people on different topics. And then also, people already made the remark, there are too many at the same time. I can't choose.
tell,
So it's not
tell them not to go to Las Vegas then.
no, Las Vegas is even worse. I was really, when I was in Las Vegas, I had something like, how can I choose? There's
Yeah,
way too much.
normally about 12 simultaneously.
Yeah,
Really? Wow.
Wow.
yeah, it's really huge there, and it does make it difficult to really
It does, it does.
select the right one, and you can network in advance, but nevertheless, it stays difficult,
Yeah,
and you'll always have several at the same time that you really find interesting.
yeah,
Uh, so, in that respect, it's still limited in Antwerp. It's not my intention either to grow to that number,
yeah.
like
No.
it is in Las Vegas. I want to keep it feasible for everybody to really enjoy 3 rooms max, and have the possibility to all connect. Um, because in fact that's why I launched Hypnotic, so that people could connect with each other. Because
Mm.
I don't know how you experience it, but on its own, I find it a rather lonely business we are in. And I had something like, I really want to do something about that.
Yeah, I must admit, I love the conferences for that. And
Yeah.
I'm not, some of the conferences now tend to have moved online, and I'm not a great fan of those at all, because people aren't giving you their full attention. They're probably doing other stuff, or they're watching
Mm.
recording, and you're not having any interactions with them. They might ask the odd question, but that's it. Whereas at least at a conference, you might meet them in the corridor and have a chat about something, or in the bar or something else, and it's much more fun and interesting. I think much better for connections.
Yeah, and you
Definitely.
indeed run
Yeah.
into each other and you can really talk or hang in the bar or go to a bunker. And
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, and also I'm lucky because I go to so many conferences. I know so many of the presenters anyway.
yeah,
But it's also quite funny. Sometimes I go say, "Oh, I really wanted to see that presentation and that one," and they were all on at the same time as me. And then I go to other conferences where there might be 3 rooms, and I think, "Well, I've seen all of them,
Yeah.
already." So,
I have tried to make a mix because I also find it important during Hypnotic to give stage to people who haven't presented before,
yeah,
so that they can grow as well in presenting what they are doing. Because some of them are really experts in what they are doing,
yeah,
but they have never been a speaker at a
Yeah, that's
conference.
it.
yeah. Yeah, and it's nice. I
Uh,
like to see the new people again, because I know so many. I mean, I was in Copenhagen last week, and I think
yeah,
there was only one presenter that I didn't know, and I
exactly.
think I'd seen about 4 of the talks. And I'm going to Ireland in a couple of weeks, and I think there's only about 4 people I don't know there. But
Hmm.
yeah, I've noticed a new one later in the year that I'm doing in Los Angeles. Out of those, there's 18 presenters that I've never heard of, and I think that's
Oh
fantastic.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. So and I will continue doing that because I think Hypnotic is also meant to be a stage for newbies
Mm.
Mm.
to present their expertise, so that it's not always the same face as Gary, because otherwise it gets boring, right? For people, don't you think so?
We need young blood
I
like
do think
Madelief.
it's a, yeah, it's a good idea though, isn't it? Like Gary said, it's rather than do it online when you meet people, because it's nice to actually meet them in the flesh, isn't it? And have that proper conversation, and maybe meet other people that you've never met before or never even seen online before. I think it's
Yeah.
really good that
Yeah,
we can do
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
And I
yeah. I
think
mean,
what, sorry, I think what we find as well, because we are part of Sheila's hypnosis,
both club.
hypnosis
Yeah.
growth club. So it's like a big gang of us when we go to
mm,
London, then we get to finally, instead of just being on a call on a Monday, we are like, and getting to chat on these calls, which is great. Of course it is, because we're staying connected, and, you don't have that same isolation of just working on your own as a hypnotherapist. But then we get to meet each other in person. It's like a family reunion, isn't
yeah,
it?
it is. Yeah, and I think the hard part in a lot of ways is trying to sell that to the general public hypnotherapists, that aren't the presenters. Why should you come to a conference? And,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's the travel and the money. It's not just the tickets, the hotel and the travel. But if you combine it into a little trip, for people that have not been to Antwerp before, you're coming out there, you can do some sightseeing. And again, I
Mhm.
think compared to the online stuff, you get so
Yeah.
much more out of it, because you do meet
Yeah.
people, you do make contacts, you do social stuff, and you keep in touch with a lot of them, and then see them at future ones, which is great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or if you
definitely.
have a question, where a
Yeah,
specialist is, then you can reach out.
yeah. Well, I
That,
do a monthly mentoring session, and the first couple I did myself. It's just starting into its third year, sort of a subscription thing, and I had a lot of it. And I said to them when I started it off, what sort of topics do you want? Because I thought, well, yeah, I can do an oncology and I can do certain other ones, but you don't want to hear me every month. And I said, what
mhm.
topics would you like? And they gave me a list of whole topics. And I thought, actually, I know an expert on that. I know an expert on that.
Mm.
So I
Yeah.
just sort of call up my friends. Would you like to come on and do a 45-minute lecture on my mentoring group? And it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, and like that, you can really spread information and knowledge. It's fantastic to be able to do that. It's
Yeah.
definitely is. Yeah, yeah. Madelief, you are so quiet. I'm
Sorry.
not you. You are so quiet. Although you're also an expert now in going to conferences and
Yeah.
speaking,
Yeah,
etc. But
definitely.
you also spoke in London, right?
Yeah,
At
I
the
did.
daily doses.
For the first time last year. Also the same presentation as I did at Hypnotic. And it had a lot of success, which is really nice. I'll be taking the induction game with me again this year, definitely. Um, because it created so much fun in the hallways and people creating their own inductions. But yeah, I went there like to London for the first time. That was my first convention ever. Just like as someone who did hypnosis as a hobby, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, this guy is coming to London. You know what? I'll just solo travel to London. I've never traveled on my own before, so I just went there, and just the way that you can meet others, uh, it got me hooked. So I went to Hypnotic afterwards, and then yeah, I just continued coming to conventions because it's just a lovely place to be with people that are like you and have the same interest, and you don't have to constantly explain, "Oh yeah, I do hypnosis." No, it's not fake. So yeah, conventions are really lovely. Yeah,
Yeah, you'll find
We
it's
have
packed and you'll just end up doing more and more of them.
exactly.
And further afield.
And what I also love about conventions is that like you learn a lot from each other going into the sessions, going into the workshops, but you
Definitely.
also learn a lot from each other just speaking with each other in the hallways. If you've been to a session and you go up to the speaker and ask a little question about it, you might get hooked into an hour-long conversation about that topic, and learn so much more. So it's very, very valuable to go to these conventions, not only to network and get to know more people, but also just to learn all the different perspectives. And yeah, as a nerd myself, I want to learn everything and I want to know everything. So I'm just like a sponge, absorbing information all day.
great. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's really a heaven to be in. Yeah.
I'm really happy you are bringing your box because this year we also have an hypnotic playgrounds, which
Mm.
is really a space where everybody can just practice, where there will be no disturbance. It's really a one particular hall that we said, look, anybody who wants to practice, we have all the space created for it, where people can easily join. It's close to the where the coffee is available and stuff like that, so that it's easy to run in and out. And I would love to have these 2 days or so filled with activities there, people taking initiatives themselves, because I don't want to organize everything. I want to leave the space available and see what's being born in that space, this playground.
Yeah,
So
that is lovely. It's fun to be talking to people, and then out of a sudden there's a impromptu session going on because you want to demonstrate something that you thought about. And yeah, and my box, like my game that I created, will also create a lot of fun in that playground, I guess. So that's lovely that there's a space for it,
yeah.
even though it already happened, even without a space for it. But
I know it does. But this year it was a bit because we are changing locations, and we used to have one particular location where I knew how we could organize things, and then it was possible also in just in the hallway.
yeah.
Now it's organized a bit differently, and I thought it might be useful to have that space just to create a playground where there is not too much disturbance because of other things ongoing, because it's organized differently. But you will see the playground is
Ooh.
there, so let's use it and enjoy it, and have a ball in the playground as well as on the stages of hypnosis. So
I'm very curious.
yeah, we try to renew every year and add something. So this year there is the playground and the gala ball for the first time.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
which will be fun as well because we have a very famous DJ, in fact, who's helping to make our evening very successful and fun. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. But I won't tell more about it now, 'cause I want to still have some news here and there to leak on how that evening is organized. Nevertheless, the nominations for the awards are ongoing. So via the website, people can nominate whom they want to bring to the front as the best trainer, lifetime achievement award, and the one who brought most into the world of hypnosis over the last year, most innovative initiatives. So for those who haven't nominated anyone yet, please do go to the website hypnotic.education, where you can nominate anyone you think merits an award. And then as from April, of course, there is the jury looking into all the nominations and taking a decision. And I'm so happy I'm not involved in that. You don't get involved in these things. It's really not easy.
It sounds like a hard decision. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, definitely. And I'm really happy that there is a jury of really professional people in the business as well, that I'm sure who will take the time and put the necessary energy in it to give the award to the right people. So, yeah.
That's
All
nice.
right. Is there still anything else you would like to tell to the people who are watching?
No,
Go
just
to
Just
Scotland.
go
Yeah,
to
just
Bethlehem, go to Antwerp.
Oh, all together, nobody understands a word. Chaos. Oh, you want to
just
go on?
turn up, come to Antwerp. Yes, come to
Yeah.
The
Antwerp.
conference. And
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
we can have chaos after the dinner on.
Oh yeah.
There is no bunker there, Gary, but there is a nice bar. All right.
Yeah, Rob de Groof has said he has already told them that the breweries that it's my birthday and to make sure they have enough supplies.
Right. Yeah. Very good. This will be interesting. We're really looking forward to celebrate your birthday, Gary, on Sunday after the conference,
Yep.
and first enjoy a lovely conference all together. So looking forward to you guys, to seeing you
you.
guys in Antwerp. Don't forget to make the reservations for the shuttle from the airport to the hotel. Really the easiest way to go. And see
Do
you all.
we contact the hotel for that and to book that?
I will send out the link again.
Okay,
Please, yeah.
perfect. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Because I had mentioned it already somewhere, but there is a lot of information indeed to take in, and
Yeah.
not to miss everything. I not to miss anything is a task indeed. I can understand all of that. For me, it seems easy now because I'm into the whole organization, so you have everything in the
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
But spreading it and making sure everybody read what you send out or receives it when they need it or think
Yeah.
about it like, oh yeah, I have read something about this is a challenge. So,
Yeah.
but I will put it also in the WhatsApp group for the
Yeah,
speakers.
yeah,
Is
and
that
again,
okay?
because I'm doing, I guess because I'm doing a few, I'm sort of getting an email from one and then an email from another. And I think, oh yeah, I need to book that hotel, that flight, that train, that.
Yeah, I spoke to John today for Dublin because we will meet also those who are going to Dublin.
Yeah,
We will meet in Dublin as well because there I'm going to enjoy a conference, and John will suffer and come to Antwerp afterwards, so then he can enjoy one as
yeah.
well.
I saw John in Copenhagen a couple of weeks back. So
I noticed he was there indeed.
yeah.
Yes. So thank you very much for
Thank
this
you.
lovely chat. I really enjoyed
Thank
it.
you.
I hope you did
Thank
as
you.
well. I hope the people who watched also enjoyed it and got to know you a little bit better. And looking forward to seeing you in Antwerp.
yeah,
See you
fantastic.
soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.